in Hollywood, California. So what part of Cali you from? All right, go ahead and pull that mic close to you too, so we can make sure we get you in there.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm from North Carolina. I'm a country boy. You know,
hold on, you from the CAC?
Yeah,
what
yeah,
part
yeah.
of the CAC?
Eastern Wallace, North Carolina.
Wallace?
Wallace.
Now, that's crazy. I'm out east. Wallace. Where's Wallace? Let me think. What's near Wallace?
Well, you know what Wilmington is, right?
I definitely know what Wilmington is.
You're going 40 east about 30 minutes before you get there. In the middle of nowhere.
So you was hanging out in Wilmington. You was out there at Wrightsville Beach a lot, Carolina Beach.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
all right, no doubt. So when did you leave the Carolinas and head out to Cali? When did that happen?
I've been in California about 7 years. I left the country a while ago. I was in Charlotte for like 10 years, and then I moved to Beverly Hills.
Okay. Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
Okay. Some dollars? Beverly Hills, yeah. Doing it real big. All right, Beverly Hills. Well, you like Beverly? Was that a big? How big was that change? Coming from the Carolinas and going to Cali. That's a big change.
It was a big change, and I was trying to make a change, and I wanted to put a little pressure on myself. But Beverly Hills was all about a vision I had when I was younger. So my story is called Dirt Road to Rodeo. But when I was younger, I saw the Beverly Hillbillies.
Right. Remember that?
He struck oil, right?
Right.
And he moved the family to Beverly Hills.
Beverly.
And I told my brother and them I was going to move to Beverly Hills one day, and they said, how you going to get there?
Right.
I said, I think my way there. Because, you know, we had come from modest means, so I didn't know. So it was just like a vision that I had the whole time, and that's what this whole gangster mentality is about. You know the album that we're going to
Well, matter of fact, because we just jumped right into his life story and thing. Tell them who you are and what you do. We didn't even tell them. Tell them who you are and what you do.
All right. So my name is Henry Kellem. Like I said, I'm from Eastern North Carolina. I'm a educator. You know, a lot of people say I'm a motivational speaker, but the story itself is motivating. But what I'm trying to do is educate people to the knowledge of who they are so they can implement that in their life. And, you know, we can all have our own Dirt Road to Rodeo transformation, because that's what it's about, growth and transformation, and transcending the environment that we came from and making a difference.
No doubt. All right, so let's get into that title. Say it one more time, Road to Rodeo?
Dirt Road.
Dirt Road to Rodeo.
Yeah, because I grew up dirt poor in North Carolina on a dirt road. I'm from an actual dirt road. So when they say I came straight out the mud, I ain't saying no sand.
It's the real mud.
Yeah, it's the real mud.
Real mud. Red mud? Red mud.
Yeah, so
no doubt.
Then rodeo, you know, of course, we don't talking about the physical journey going east to west. We talking about the mental journey and the growth and transformation. Dirt road signifies, let's say, the victim mindset, where rodeo symbolizes the growth mindset. And, you know, since we all got to keep growing, you know, it's dirt road to rodeo. You know what I'm saying? In your mind, though, because you got to do it in your mind first. Okay. And that's what it's all about.
Well, let me ask you, let's go backwards a little bit. So what made you go in this direction and want to do that? Like, what hit you and was like, you know what, I want to go out here and help people, inspire people, and get their mind right? Like, what was that?
Okay, well, other than the event of, I was 14 and my brother was 13. He got shot in the head, he got killed. And I remember he was laying there, and I was like, I couldn't understand why, you know, something like that would happen to him. And then I was like, you know, it could just as easily have been me. So I was like, you know, why am I here? And then I started trying to figure out like a purpose for my life. And I told him, I said, I live a life big enough for both of us.
Right.
So at that point, I was like, I got to make something shake, you know what I'm saying? So I got to make something of myself. So along that journey, you know, studying the mind, studying about science, and just having that intuitive nature, then I'm like, okay, maybe I can tell people, you know, they can do some of this. But even on this Dirt Road to Rodeo, life is crazy. It came about me wanting to help people and share, and then it came about me actually having my own Dirt Road to Rodeo, going through my own trials and tribulations and transgressions, and having to learn and overcome, you know, the mentality that I had coming from an environment of poverty, of lack, of not having enough, father not being there, thinking you're not good enough, having that trauma, you know, as us black men and all of that, and then thinking about the state of mental health right now and how bad that is, and understanding that if we get back to the nature of who we are, but we got to know, that's why they always say know thyself, that, you know, we can begin to heal ourselves, you know what I mean, and that's what it's all about for me personally.
No doubt. So let's talk about it. Let's just go in on that a little bit, because I think a lot of people, now, I think it's a better focus on mental health right now. Big shouts out to Charlemagne the God. I think he's made it very aware for black men and mental health. Talk about the seriousness of that and how that is affecting a lot of black men right now, like the mental health state and how it's important to make sure your mind is right out here. Well, especially in 2022 right now, because it's crazy.
Well, right now, on the other side of the pandemic, now we're starting to see the effects of the response to the pandemic, because right now we have a 43% rise in anxiety and depression.
Yes. Yes.
Suicide rates are the highest since World War II. Now.
Yeah.
We have 70% of our teenagers facing mental health. The way it's going right now, if the trend keeps going, suicide will almost become the second leading cause of death in the United States. So it's imperative, because we all got people, that are reaching out for help and calling out for help, and so we got to make awareness of it, and then make it okay to talk about it, because for me personally, suffering from like my own trauma and trying to overcome like the negative voices and thinking I'm not good enough, and that
Right.
leading to self-sabotage and self-destruction and all of that.
Right.
So more so now with me learning the science behind, okay, the brain works a certain way. When we do certain things, we can actually lock ourselves into the base part of our brain, which is called the reptilian brain, and then we're like instinctual creatures. We're just like any other animal on the planet, and it's all of this is like a biochemistry makeup that's going on in the body, and it's a mix-up of the chemicals and hormones. So that's what I talk about. I teach masterminds on the brain and the way it works, and how our thoughts change the biochemistry of the brain. Because what it is the stress hormones, too much of the cortisol, which leads to the inflammation in the body, and that leads to all the modern day diseases, and too much cortisol in the brain starts to lead to anxiety, and prolonged anxiety leads to depression.
No doubt. So let's help some of the listeners out there that might be listening right now. What would you say, because there's people out there that might not know that they're suffering from that. What signs do you look for? Like, how do you know that you need some kind of help or something like that? Like, what are people looking for?
Before it even gets to any kind of help, just understanding that the way the brain is inclined to worry, so a lot of people have negative thoughts, and they worry a lot, and then understanding that when you have these negative thoughts, it deals with the stress response mode in the body. It's just like what used to happen was all the energy in the body would go to an outside threat. So a lot of people, your immune system is suppressed, your digestive system is depressed.
Right.
Because you got an outside threat. So the body in its infinite intelligence, like, okay, if you got food in your stomach and it's let's say a saber-toothed tiger trying to get you,
right.
You got to stop that real quick and get away from this immediate threat.
Do that.
Because
Right.
it was an outside threat. But the world we live in right now, because of the neocortex, we could worry. We could think about things that went wrong. We could have regrets. And what happens is the same thing happened inside the body that happened then. So it's just cortisol. It's just constant prolonged cortisol in the body that begins to build up. And that leads to all the modern day diseases that we have. So that's why, and I talk a lot about, the ancient wisdom, and they tell us to think a certain way because these thoughts are actually changing the biochemistry of the brain. And, it's not just about positive and negative, like it's a real thing. So when you have these negative thoughts, this is what's going on in the inside of your body. You create physiological changes.
No doubt. And now I did notice this. I was on your Instagram page, and I noticed that you do a lot of working out and health.
Yes.
Health and fitness. How important is that, especially for black men? I know we suffer from a lot. Matter of fact, I just lost a close friend, one of the DJs here. He was a diabetic, real bad diabetic. How important is your balance of your diet, what you eat, and your health to your mental health?
Everything. And people don't understand, so let's get to what we eat first. So 95% of the cells that actually contain serotonin are located in our gut. That's why the foods we eat are affected by that. That's why the gut health is so important. And also with the exercise, because again, you wake up in the morning, you exercise, so your brain is inclined to worry. You got high cortisol levels. When you work out, when you exercise, you get the endorphins in the brain that make you begin to feel good. Think about if you got problems, right? But if you working out, you focusing on what you're doing, your mind don't have time to worry. See, what I tell people, the brain can't focus on negativity and positivity at the same time.
Right.
But you gotta force yourself to focus on positivity because the brain is inclined to worry, and people don't understand that. That's why you sit there and they say your brain gonna go left. What they say, an idle's mind is the devil's workshop.
No
and
question.
that just means you're gonna get a lot of negative thoughts if you sitting there doing nothing. That's why you're supposed to stay busy working on what it is you're doing.
Fitness is
definitely important.
So what is your diet like? What do you eat? What would you tell somebody? What's a good diet to be on and how they should be out here eating right now, 2022?
I mean, the best thing is eat foods closer to nature, not a whole lot of processed foods, not a whole lot of packaged foods.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's all. The closer it is to nature, the better it is for you.
Like, so when you say close to the nature, like, what
Like
you at
fruits
Wegmans?
and
Where you shopping at?
grains.
Where you got your own garden somewhere? Like,
I don't have no
tell me how you
garden or
do it.
anything.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to Whole Foods. I'm trying to get organic if I can.
Okay,
you know.
Whole Foods.
Yeah,
Okay.
just basic, nothing crazy, no extreme diet or none of that. You know what I mean? Just trying to eat balanced, eat well. Like I said, not a whole lot of fast food. I mean, I got a sweet tooth, so we all
Yeah,
battle
gotta-
with something. You know, I eat
gotta
my
get it,
candy.
yeah.
I got it. You know.
Gotta get a
But,
milkshake
you know,
and cookout every
yeah.
now and then. They got a cookout in California. It's cookout down there.
They
There's
got
no
a
cookout in Cali. Is it cookout not down there? So what's the go-to spot down there for like some quick, good, fast food in Cali?
What they got is it Fat Burger?
Fat Burger is it?
In and out.
Fat Burger?
In and out. In and
What's the
out.
other one?
In and out.
Say it out loud.
In and out.
In and out.
I couldn't
So
think of
what's
it.
that? In and out. Because I gotta know when I go to Cali if I'm gonna have a cheat day, where I need to go to. In and out. So that'll be the spot.
In-N-Out.
What they got in there? They got the good burgers.
They got the burgers for you.
Alright, no doubt. In and out, y'all. When you see me in Cali, I'm at In and Out doing my dang good thing. For real, for real. Alright, so let's talk about your project.
Okay.
For anybody that's listening right now, if they want to check out your project and follow your story and kind of get in tune with what you're doing right now, where do they go to? How do they get in touch?
Well, the actual album, Gangsta Mentality, they can find on any of the major platforms,
Okay.
iTunes, Spotify, Pandora. All they got to do is type in Henry Kellem, Gangsta Mentality. and
Okay.
it'll come right up.
How many cuts is on that actual album? I went to the website. I think I looked at the website, but I didn't.
It's 9 tracks on it.
Okay.
It's 9 tracks. The first 7, and this is to anybody listening. So the Gangsta Mentality, this is not really entertainment. It's a message to your soul. So the first 7 songs is about transformation. We all know, like, think about it. 7 days of the week.
No doubt.
7 continents.
No
7
doubt.
musical notes. 7 colors
Right.
in the rainbow. 7 signifies change.
No
So those
doubt.
first 7 is to take you on the journey of the soul. That's why it's believe in you, because before you can do anything, you got to believe in yourself.
No question.
That even has biblical references done into you
7
as
days,
you
keep it holy.
believe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
As
it.
you believe. So first thing is believe in yourself. The next thing is face the fear, because we all got certain fears. I had a fear of talking in public. I had a fear of making videos. But unless we do the thing we're afraid of, we'll never live the life we want. So they say the life you want to live is on the other side of fear. So the second
That's
song
true.
is on it is fear.
That
The
is
next is called Time Is Now, because what we waiting on. Nobody knows how much time we got.
No,
You know what I'm
not
saying?
at
They say time ain't running out, but your time is.
No question.
You know what I'm saying? And then some people say time is money. I'm like, not really, because you can make more money, but you can't make more
More
time.
time. Yes,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true. Yeah.
So,
Oh man.
so
Like
it's
that. Wrong
so
with
it's
that.
so valuable. So the third one is Time Is Now. After that, like I said, why? What are you here? What's your purpose on life? In life, is it just to accumulate, to get what you want, some bunch of things you can't take when you
When you
leave?
go,
Is
right?
it to make an impact in somebody else's life? Live,
Yeah.
create something that can maybe be immortal and stand the test of time. So
Yeah.
why find something bigger than yourself? If it wasn't for my little brother, I wouldn't be doing this right now.
No
Because there's plenty of times I was scared to do things and worried about what people were gonna say. But I told this man what I was gonna do, so I got to get busy doing something. So that's my why.
No
After
doubt.
that, after why, the next song is Comfort Zone, because
Gotta get out of it.
you got to get out of it. Will Smith said, "The comfort zone is where dreams go to die."
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to get out of your comfort zone. After comfort zone is called never fail. And the reason I put never fail is because, like Will Smith said, you will fail at something.
No
but
question.
if we
Guaranteed.
change our narrative of failure and just make it a lesson, like we say, Denzel Washington said, fail early and fail often and fail forward, and we fail our way to success. So we just change it. And Sarah Spanks, the owner of the Spanx company, that she just made $1 billion.
Right, Spanx.
So her father used to ask her every day when she come home, what did she fail at? And if she said nothing, he would be upset, because he knew that if she was failing at something, she was trying. And it was more about trying than failing. So the reason the song is called Never Fail is because we never fail. We just keep trying. And one day we're going to hit. You know what I'm saying? So that's Never Fail. And then the 7th song is Gangster Mentality.
Right.
And that sums it all up, because it's a mindset. And the gangster mentality, I tell people, is about perseverance, consistency, and faith. So persevere, fall down 7 times, get up 8. You know who one of the biggest gangsters in the world is?
Who?
Jack Canfield, 70-year-old white man.
Why is that?
Because that book, Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul,
Right.
144 authors told him no before it was publishers told him they wouldn't publish it.
Right.
He got it published. Only book that sold more around the world is the Bible. We've made billions on the whole Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul series.
Hold on, wait.
So
stop.
check this out.
You
So
just
check
gave
it.
me some new knowledge.
So
Okay,
check-
hold on. Before you say it, it's the second most famous book.
The series of Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul, because
It's
he
the
made
Bible.
that book and the whole nother, so that sold around the world.
The only thing over there is the Bible. All right, now go
Listen,
ahead.
I'm saying he sold billions. But
Okay,
they,
no doubt.
like he said, if he'd have stopped at 100 no's,
Right.
you wouldn't know who he was.
Come on.
So I tell people, how many no's will it take you to give up on your dreams? So you got to be gangster to walk up in here after 135 people said no to that.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so he's
crazy.
one of the biggest gangsters in the world.
Gotta
And
give it
hey,
to him.
your boy Edison too. So,
Light bulb.
Listen, he said some people say 10,000 times, some people say 1,000. He said I didn't fail 10,000 times. I found 10,000 ways that wouldn't work. He said I only had to find one that would work. Your
That was
job
it.
is to find one way that'll work.
That's it.
So the second thing is consistency. We don't do what we feel like. We do what we committed to, because we know every day we ain't gonna feel like it. But if we committed to it, we do it. And the last one, Martin Luther King said, you don't got to see the whole staircase in order to take the first step. Have some faith, perseverance, consistency, and faith, and it all go. And that's biblical too, because what they say, be not conformed to this world, but transformed by the renewing of your mind. Meaning, you got to stand out and do your own thing. You can't do what everybody else been doing, because we all unique. We all individuals. We all got gifts to bring to this world that we got to stand out and do what we do. And we can't conform to what they're telling us to do. We got to be unique. So my message is keep it gangster. My message is keep it gangster if you want to know anything, and we're going to change the narrative. But that's what we got to do. And even for us, for the young boys,
Right.
for
the young
you
ones.
know, we gotta let it. We gotta make them embrace it. It ain't all about being cool and shooting each
Come
other
on,
up. And
come
you know,
on.
we gotta give them a whole new perspective on life and
Change
how to
the
tap
narrative.
into that. We gotta be that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Our generation, and that's what this whole thing about. If you want to be gangster, this is how you be gangster. You be gangster to yourself and true, and you take care of your family. You know, you do your thing.
Yeah, that's
There
what
you
the
go.
real game. We gave y'all some jewels today, man.
That's what we do.
We've been giving y'all some amazing jewels in here. I got a couple of jewels out of this myself, for real, for real. I'm trying to tell you. One phrase I always like to tell people when people be like, well, you want to ask them to find out? I always say, I'd rather hear no than not know at all.
There you go.
Because some people won't go because they feel like they're going to hear the word no.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd rather hear that than to be like, you know what? I wonder if I would have ever asked them this, what they would have said. I don't want to say that. I'd rather be like, yeah, I went in there and they told me no. So I'm about to go over here.
There you
know
go.
what I'm saying?
I'm looking for as many no's, because what I see, the more no's you get, the bigger the pot at the end of the rainbow. Like even scripture said, the reward comes to those who persist. So I just keep going.
And
You know what I mean?
Doing that,
Listen,
man.
think about it right now. I'm going around talking about an album I never did music. Who is Henry Kellem and this stuff? Imagine
Right.
if I internalized that and took that personal. Don't worry about it, man. You catch
Right.
it on the come round if you ain't ready now, but you'll see me and you'll hear me again. Because
Yeah,
it don't.
it is.
Listen, you know my motto?
What's
Don't
the motto?
stop till the casket drop.
Don't stop
You know
till the
what I'm saying?
casket drop.
We keep it moving,
You
baby.
might need to make that a song.
Yeah. Oh, I did. That's on Gangsta Mentality. When you play that, man, you got to play one cut off the album before I'm here. Now you got to get the people something,
you
man.
know what? You know what? I don't have. Let me see. Let me
Pull
see.
up, you
let me
got
see.
someone
Let me
somewhere.
see. Let me see. Let me
Look,
see. Hold
man.
on. Wait. We're gonna do that right now.
You
Live
wanna
on
give
this
the
radio.
Gangsta Mentality,
We're gonna do
sum
that
it
live
up,
on this
what you
radio
wanna
right now.
give?
Let me see. Let
Time
me
is
see.
now. I don't
Let me
care.
see. Hold
Give 'em
on.
something.
I'm up in here hanging out, and we've had a great conversation today. So now we're getting into a little bit of your music. We just played a snippet of
Gangsta Mentality.
Gangsta Mentality. So we wanted to make sure we play one all the way through. And I got it done. Okay? So we're getting ready to play one of his joints off the record. Talk about this record and intro this record before I play it.
So the name of this record right here is Time Is Now. And I think it's really an important time for us all to be aware of how precious time is. Like they say, you can make more money, but you can't make more time.
No doubt.
And we don't know how much time we got. Like they say, your time is not running out, but your time is. So the name of this song is Time Is Now. And it was inspired by Benjamin Mays.
Alright. Oh man. Power 95 on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I'm listening to him talking in the record. I'm not even paying attention to the record was about to go off. Alright, no doubt. That's what you call message in the music right there, man. For real. I didn't even realize that the song was going. I was listening to what he was saying. I'm like, yeah. Song just went off, alright? For real. Hey yo, deep record, deep music. Tell them right now once again where they can find all your music at, where they can check it out, and just check out the entire album right now of all the songs we talked about.
Yeah, well, like it's all the major outlets: iTunes, Spotify, Pandora,
Apple
Music.
I got him. Apple. YouTube.
Hey, listen, go
I
to
got you.
henrykellem.com too. You know, check it out. Check out the other events I got. Like I said, I got a mastermind coming up in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
And I also have a spiritual that's on August 24th, and I have a spiritual retreat coming up in Malibu, California on September 18th. You know, we gotta unplug. Yeah, I gotta come mess with your boy, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna link in with Skeezy, and me and Skeezy gonna come out there, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Do what we do, for real.
Yeah.
Shouts out to my man DJ Pro Fluent in the building, hanging out too, man. You know what I'm saying, for real, bro. Thank you for coming through, man.
Of course,
and just
man.
like, you know, some stuff, jewels today. You dropped some jewels today. Hopefully we open some eyes up for some people.
That's what we're trying to do.
You know
That's
what
all
I'm
we're
saying?
doing. Each one teach one, man. We all do it.
For real, and made it clear, man.
Yeah.
For real. But thank you for coming through, hanging out DTG
Of course.
Radio. Safe travels and safe journeys to you. Big shouts out to Cal. Anybody you want to shout out to on the radio real quick before you go? Anybody any shout outs? Any shout
Hey,
Anybody?
yeah, I gotta
Because
give
you're
it-
from this area, so you know, hey, you might need to shout some people out.
Well, yeah, I got to give a shout out to Layla Kellem, man. That's my little girl, man, my number one. So, baby
right,
Lay,
yeah.
I got to give a shout out to you. What's up, man? Daddy said what up.
All right, there it
Because
is.
she,
All right.
her people from all this neck of the woods. You know,
Okay, yeah, so
they from all
there
down
you
here,
go.
Rocky
So they'll
Mountain,
hear that
you know
and be
what
like,
I'm saying?
okay, that's a shout
Yeah,
to everybody.
yeah, they know that's a shout for the whole gang.
All right, that's
yeah.
what's up. I'm going to cut this check, come right back. More of the music on the way, top of the hour. Got the 5 hottest songs on the radio. High five coming your way, trains in the building. Y'all know how I do it. Power.